get through this, then we'll be able to kind of get into the questions and stuff. But 3rd and 1 to 2, you know, we're obviously going for a stop. I think this is critical, like where they're at on the field. There is the analytics have taken over football with offensive coaches, and so you know, so many opportunities across the 50 or even across the -40 turn into these 4-down situations, and so that drives maybe what people do on 3rd and 1 to 2. If they're into 4-down territory, you know, you may get a shot here, you may get a pass. If they're backed up, you know, and they want to, and they know this is their last down, you may get their best run. So we're gonna, you know, our coverage is we're gonna be really aggressive here. We want to get off the field, but at the same time, we don't want to give up a home run. If they're on the -20, you know, we want to try to keep a guy in the middle of the field. If at all costs something breaks through, but we definitely want to try to get off the field. You go 3 to 5. You know, a lot of it is based on field position, I would say, in college now, where, you know, across the 50, this is a 50-50 rundown for a lot of people. But I think it's similar to the 2nd and long. It's like you can't afford in these D&Ds to play loose zone. You're going to give up that 6-yard route. It's going to be a 1st down. So you want tight coverage, you want man, and then you want some change ups off of that. You want to be able to show man, play zone, try to mess with the quarterback. We need to know, like, is the running back hot out? Like a lot of times you get 5 out in these situations. A lot of times people use empty. They may motion, especially like a man zone ID motion, to try to figure out what coverage you're in. So we like to show man here as much as we can, and then mix up our coverages based off that being the underlying look. All right, moving up the sticks here. 3rd and 6 to 10. Now we're into, you know, defense advantage, hopefully. But the number one thing that we look at here, the first thing is, do they have a guy that we really need to be aware of, that we really need to give help to? We may need to double a certain player. Maybe when he's the single X, his targets are way up versus 2x2. He doesn't get as many targets. So we look at all that stuff. And then, you know, kind of the second to bottom point, I think, is really critical. Some teams here run 3-man routes because they want to protect. Some teams still run the 4-man routes. They keep the back in the protection. And some teams say, you know what, we can still get 5 out, get rid of the ball, beat the pressures that way. So we really try to determine our coverages based on that. If they're a 3-man protection team, a 3-man route team, you know, we may be able to get away with playing looser fire zone and not having as many guys. If they're 5 out, we certainly want body on body and try to take away all those 1st down throws. Screens may start to show up, so we certainly want to have answers for that. The last 3rd down one is really just the long yardage, and it really starts with the same thing of, do they have a receiver that we have to take away? Do we need to cloud a certain guy? Do we need to double a certain guy? What screens do they like? And then at what yardage do they really just line up and run the ball? A lot of teams in college, you know, it's not necessarily a give up down, but it's just, hey, let's give what we can, punt, and move on. And then if we may catch them in an exotic pressure and pop a run. So try to be careful there, not to take our guys out of position, but be able to do that. And then